Feeling friends is this concept that I came up with laying in bed one night. I have all these close friends who have these wonderful stories that can help change the world, life experiences that can help other people believe in themselves, hold tight to their dreams and make their dreams reality. On Feeling Friends, we talk about God, we talk about love, relationships. I have celebrity friends, I have non-celebrity friends. I have church members, family members. But when you watch and listen to Feeling Friends, you will learn and you will laugh. It's a community of friends helping to build each other up. So tune in to Feeling Friends every Sunday on WHCR 90.3 FM, or you can catch me on YouTube at Feeling Friends Radio. All right, I'll see you there. WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. What's up, everybody? It's me, Phil, and I'm back here live on air with you, my friends, recording again live from my studio because the studio is shut down, but we'll be back in the studio very soon. Listen, I've got a good friend of mine, Nea Dix. I have been knowing Nea Buckingham Dix for years, since we were freshmen at college. Today, I got to stop spitting. Today is Clark Atlanta University Day, and I've got my friend on, so we're going to talk about her life. We're going to talk about real estate. We got to get our people into real estate and buying homes. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my friend live into the studio, Nea Dix. What is going on, friend?
Hi, Phil. Thanks for having me.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for being here. Let me get chill mode like you. Hey, Nea.
I had a glass of wine so that I wouldn't be nervous.
I was going to pop that champagne, but I have another show, so I didn't want to be too lit. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Listen, you have been supportive of me for a very long time. Ooh, and I'm just grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful to just know you. So tell the people who you are.
So I'm Nea Buckingham Dix, but most people are calling me Nea Dix these days. And I am probably what you would describe as an eccentric entrepreneur at this point.
I love it. That's good.
Serial entrepreneur. I have dibbled and dabbled in quite a few things, quite a few industries, and I'm still involved in quite a few things. I have varied interests, but probably I spend most of my time as a realtor and mother and encourager. My spare time of people, whoever I'm encountering in my life. People say that I have some wisdom. We'll see. And so, that's pretty much who I am. Entrepreneur, encourager.
You really are. You are. Listen, we're going to get into that later. She is a true encourager of me. And we had a conversation the other day and we kind of finally realized why we connected. We're going to talk about that later. But I want to get into your background, your life. You grew up. If you feel like talking about, let's talk about your background and how that shaped you.
Yeah, we can talk about it. So I started off as a military kid. Actually, my father is an Air Force vet. And when he and my mother divorced, when I was small, me and my mother moved back to Kansas City, Missouri. Shout out to Kansas
Not to get confused with Kansas City, Kansas.
Oh, that's why I had to put the Missouri on there. See, Phil, that's how you know we're friends. Yeah. But yeah, and so I stayed in Missouri until I graduated high school. My upbringing was interesting. I am the oldest of both of my parents' kids. I have 4 sisters total, 2 on my mother's side, 2 on my father's side. Okay. And I am one of those people who had like a lot of independence. And so I thought, at a very young age, well, I had a lot of responsibility at a young age. Like one of my sisters, I pretty much brought up from the age of being 7, helping raise her. So, by the time I got to be like 14, 15, I really consider myself an adult. And that
can tell you nothing. They can tell you anything. You was like, I'm running this. They couldn't tell you anything at that
Lord
age.
Jesus. But of course, that has its advantages. Like, it's made me, I think, a person that will handle business, that will jump feet first into things. It's made me a leader, but it also caused me to have to heal from a lot of things because when you're 14 and 15, you certainly are not grown. You certainly do not know what's going on. And so, it was kind of like that on a personal level. I went to a top Missouri school, high school, middle school, which is how I probably ended up at Clark Atlanta on a full academic scholarship.
You got a full academic scholarship?
Oh, you were smart.
I knew I was going to surprise you with that. I did.
Oh, you
I
know
did.
what? And for the audience who's watching, so there is a delay that we have. There's bad weather in New York, so if you guys, if we stop a little bit, there's a delay. You are always smart. You're like one of those people like you have a conversation with as a 17-year-old. You're like, why is she so smart? What's she talking about? Like, you know, that's how advanced you were. I remember that. You know, you being that person at school.
But that's kind of what I'm lending to in my upbringing. Like, why it's surprising is because we all know we can say I was a good partier in school too. I never missed a good
too, though. But you didn't play games about studying.
I wasn't playing about them grades because
you were not,
I wasn't about to pay for school.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So it was like that. It made me, you know, I feel like I always had, you know, kind of two sides of a coin. I had a lot that I had to heal from and to learn from, but at the same time, I had so many advantages from being a risk taker and just jumping out there. So came to Clark and been in Atlanta ever since. And of course, Clark was like the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. So,
me too.
You know, everything that led up to that, I've just felt grateful for, whether it was a struggle or, you know, a blessing. I count it as a blessing because it led me, you know, to Clark and where I'm at now.
You know, you said something so interesting. You said it taught you it taught you so many things and so many life lessons. As a mother and a wife now, I guess it prepared you for who you are. What is that like being a wife and a mother at this point? You know, what is that like?
Ooh, well, I think, you know, for every individual, it's going to be different. For me, it's been healing because through my kids, I'm having the childhood I never really had. Like I said, I had a lot of responsibility when I was young.
And your kids, like, I love seeing your kids because they always free. They have all this hair. They're like you have a lot of hair. She has a lot of hair, y'all, like me.
They are free. They are happy. They are. And they get to be kids. You know, I don't try to put too much on them. I want them to have fun because when you look back on it, 18 years, that's not a lot. You know, we're already close to 40. And so your childhood.
Who?
Proudly, I am, honey. But it goes by so fast. So I want them to just enjoy it. And also, you know, your childhood is how you learn whoever you're supposed to be in this world. So I try not to put too much onto them of me. Like I just try to let them spread their wings and be whoever that is. As far as being a wife, again, it's individual. Like I never even thought that I would be married when I was growing up. I just never even thought about it. And so I'm blessed that, you know, I think sometimes when you go into something and you don't have expectations, then it can be the best thing that ever happened for you because you're just living into the blessing of it. Like a lot of times I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm so glad he hasn't decided I'm too crazy or like he doesn't regret his decision because like, you know, all of us come with a certain set of
traits, bags.
Everything. Like I don't even want to call it baggage, but you know, everybody's individual and you know, it's separate from you. So it's something that you have to figure out how to deal with when you're living with another person. And I find a lot of gratitude when I think about and just, you know, for my kids and everything. This is totally the life that I didn't think that I would be living. So it's a blessing.
What do you think? And I want to talk to your husband one day too. What do you think the key to having a successful marriage or a marriage that works? What do you think the key is? I know that was a tough question. I'm just
like I was just saying, like realizing that this person is an individual, like and not trying. Like my husband is a super cool person, like just like very laid back. So I think the benefit for me is that I probably have been 10 different people throughout the course of our relationship. And at least he tolerates each one. I don't know if he loves every version, but he's tolerating and giving me space to grow. So I think that's probably, if I had to say there's one key, it's like giving that person space to just be. You know, I think sometimes people think we're married, it's supposed to be like this, and we need to. You know, I just recently confessed to someone that a lot of times we sleep in the same we sleep in a different bedroom. I hope he doesn't kill me for saying this.
But he won't say, he won't kill you.
But I can tell the
person do that though. A lot of married couples, a lot of older married couples say that's the only way their marriages work. They have 2 separate rooms on 2 opposite sides of the house.
Well, what you come to realize, and I think it speaks to like what I'm saying about being an individual, like he likes to watch, you know, I don't put his business out there, but he likes to have the TV on when he goes to sleep.
Okay, yeah.
And you know how I've grown to be like peace, serenity, and setting my intentions before I go to sleep. And I can't set my intentions if we got the ID channel playing. So, you know, to me, that's the best visualization. That's the best visualization of what, at least for me, has made the marriage successful, is not feeling tethered to it's gotta be like this or we gotta be like this. Just seeing what your person needs from you and what they need from the relationship, and finding out if you can continually come together and agree on those things, shutting the rest of the world out and what the world thinks out of there.
I agree with you, because I sleep with my TV on. I'll be tired. Like as soon as these 2 interviews, I'll be in bed by 7:30. But I had a dream the other night I married Nene Leaks. I was like, I can't compete on the Bravo channel.
Turn that TV off.
I gotta turn the TV off. That's crazy. Listen, you got a lot of things going on like me. We're constantly moving, we're constantly shaking. What do you say to a mother who has family she doesn't know how to balance? And we talk about living in harmony and balance. What do you say to anybody, a mother, father, anybody? How do we come to balance and find the balance within ourselves, the universe?
Woo. Well, first of all, you gotta say that you deserve that. You have to command that that's what you're doing, because everything is going to get in the way, as you can hear in my background.
Who's that? Is that Falcon? Who's that Phoenix? Who's what is that?
Thank you. Okay. But you have to say, like, I'm going to do whatever these things are that keep me balanced. Like for me, I meditate a lot. I journal.
So you meditate a lot too, just to clear your mind.
Yes. I think that everybody should meditate, but we'll get there. But you have to say to yourself, no matter what, I'm going to do these things that create a balance for me or give me a balanced energy, because especially as a mother, you can't pour from an empty cup. Your cup is supposed to be full and pouring over.
Yes.
And the only way to fill your cup is to do those things that keep you in balance. And you need to do that as a mother. You need to do it as a mother, because mothering really is always taken out of your cup. Like you're always giving, doing. So you have to put back into yourself, or it's gonna drain you.
Absolutely. How do you, it's so funny. You know, my best friend, Ivy, this reminds me of the last show we did with her. Her son was in the background. It was so funny. So, it's okay. It's a part of life. You have to balance.
It is.
So much noise that'll come at you in regular life, right? You just have to deal with it. And like you're still focused. You're that person. You talked about your intentions. What does that mean when you say, I set my intentions at home at night, every night before I go to bed? What does that mean? And what does that look like?
All right. Setting intentions is just speaking over your life. Look, I don't want to go too far off on the deep end. So
you know where you need to go.
Okay. All right. Well, we command the energy. We command the energy in our lives. The ability that you have as an individual to see the results depends on how well you've been using this tool. But you can always start where you are. And so okay, so I got a really good example of how we set intentions. You know how when you wake up and the first thing you do is stub your toe or something, you like, this gonna be a bad day. And then everything happens after that is terrible. Because you just set your intention over the day to be a bad day. So what I aim to do every day and throughout the day is to continually set intentions over everything as much as I can, be aware enough to do it. So, my light just flickered. I'm saying something here.
There you go.
So when I wake up in the morning, I set my intention to have whatever the kind of day that I want to have. Before I came on your show, I set the intention to help somebody. Before I go to sleep, I set the intention to have a restful sleep and to wake up Okay, go handle your business. Yes, I'm on a show. Okay, can you go tell your dad? Okay. Sorry about that.
You're so peaceful. You're so peaceful. You're so calm. You're always calm.
But even with them, I said that's because I set the intention to be a listening mom, a present mom, an understanding
not an angry mama, like, yo, you see me on TV right now, instead of that person. Like, my baby,
exactly.
That makes a huge difference in a child. When people yelling at your kid takes on that energy. And we black mamas were taught by them, and we can't be mad. And what I'm learning, we can't be mad at them because that's how they were raised. But it's about growing. And we can't be those people. Go get out, baby, what's wrong? How can I help you, right? How can we get through this? What's going on with you? Go ask your dad. You see, I'm doing something right now. But that's how they will become adults. They won't become the angry people at work. Like, why are you talking? They'll become the people that you mold them to be.
Yes. And they know how to set their intentions too. Right. We talk before school about setting intentions. My family is so funny.
Does your husband show up?
My husband's blowing me kisses now.
Camera. We want to see him at the end. We'll tell him to come on in.
He's in work mode. I'm sure he would like to come polished like myself. But what was I saying? Yeah, they set their intentions too. Like my son has a lot of emotion.
And he's a Gemini like me, right?
Well, he's what you call Gemini rising. We all have 3 main astrological signs. So his is Gemini rising, but that is how the world encounters him. So the personality is giving Gemini for him. And so one thing we have had to start to do this year is set our intention before school. And so I asked him, what kind of day you're going to have? He said, I'm going to have a great day. And I'm like, well, how are you going to have a great day? I'm going to listen to my teachers. So, and it's really powerful because whenever something is coming at you to get you out of that intention, like I set the intention to be uninterrupted during this broadcast. But when she came, I was reminded that I set the intention to be patient with her and to be listening to her. And so same thing for my son. I think at school, if you get frustrated or whatever, come back to this moment where you remember, hey, I said I was going to have a great day. And I said I was going to be focused. And it dials you back in. And not only that, God is so good that whatever intention you set, God delivers the circumstances so that you can deliver on those intentions. So it's really powerful. And every single time I set an intention before I go to sleep, even if I'm gonna get 3 hours of sleep, I will wake up rested. It works.
I love it. I love it.
You just have to remember to do it.
We got to remember to do it. And what's funny? One of my Broadway mentors, Akeem Babatunde, he's a famous actor. He told me when I got on stage, he was like, "What are your intentions?" And when you get on stage, I was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He was like, "Set your intentions, Phil. What are your?" So it's so powerful when you get on stage as an actor. What are you trying to convey? What are you trying to put out there? Thank you for that. Now let's jump over to real estate because that's what you do full time, and I want to get to that because I know people want to watch this show for real estate. Why is owning your own home so important? And before we get into that, tell people how to contact you and tell people how to get in touch with you as far as real estate or however you want people to get in touch.
All right. Everybody can text me 770-884-1314. That is my office line, but you will probably be reaching me when you text. And I can help everybody nationwide, really. I have a network.
Good. Nationwide. Good. Okay, perfect.
Wide. I have a network of
realtors. You told me that I'm changing online. You take nationwide. Good. Okay.
I can assist you with down payment assistance nationwide. I have a network of realtors that I work with nationwide. I work with some lenders that have their partners nationwide. So 770-884-1314. If you're going to call me, I'm at extension 102. And just start there. Like, even if you text me link, then I'll send you a link of all of our resources and everything like that. But that's probably the easiest. Just text me.
And you sent me something, man. I need to follow up with that as well. So
yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
But yeah, so many resources for everybody looking for some real estate information. I got you.
And you're also you're also an apartment manager. Is what you help people when they rent out their homes and stuff as well? Is that?
Yes, I'm a property manager, certified property manager. And so I do help like locate good tenants and do rent payments. I also have managed Airbnb, so I can manage your vacation rental. I can even help set that up if that's what you want to do. So text me. Everybody text me 770-884-1314. My background in real estate is very varied. You haven't asked me this yet, but
Go ahead.
I got into real estate when I wanted to be an investor. My husband, I don't even know if we were married at the time, but he wanted to be an investor and had convinced me we get all this money. Listen, this is what I need your help with. I need your marketing skill to help everybody. That's what I was for marketing. I need your marketing help. And so we got into it and started doing investments. And I really thought, hey, it would be better. It was like, it's a combination of two things. I knew it would be better if I was a realtor and I had like official paperwork, official information, because everybody out there that thinks they can do real estate without a realtor, you can, but you should not. Because
you should not. I mean, you really should get a realtor, because it's so, you know, I was in real estate class in Beverly Hills, and I had to take my real estate exam, but I left.
In Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Keller Williams. It was a whole thing. They're not sponsoring me, but yeah, you need a real estate because there's so many things that go on behind the scenes that you don't know. And you know, you guys take care, and you're aren't you like legally responsible for whatever happens? You know, they have to tell you the person died in the house. They got, you know, between a certain time, they need to tell you, you know, everything. So that as a first-time homeowner, which I am trying to be, multifamily units and things of that nature, what is the first step? What's the first thing that I need to know, or everybody, if you're trying to buy a home? What's the first thing they need to know?
What I would advise you, if you're a first-time home buyer, is do not get it. Whatever you think in your mind you need to have going on, throw that out the window.
Like, give us an example. What do you mean?
You know, I'll talk to people and they'll say, well, my credit's bad. Okay, well, what's your credit score? Oh, I don't know. I think it's 600. Well, you don't know. How you that? What do you then I start asking people, well, what credit score do you need to buy a house? Oh, I don't know. Well, then how do you know your credit's bad? So it's like a lot of misinformation, a lot of myths. Because especially right now, there are so many ways to get into your first purchase.
It really is.
You know, you have your traditional loans where you would want your credit score to be like between 600, 640, but they also have like these hybrid rent to own programs that you could take advantage of. It's like, you know, be creative. So my advice to any first-time home buyer is make friends with a realtor, because the realtor is going to know about all of these programs. The realtor is going to have all the lender connects. Interview your realtors. Don't just pick your sister or your whatever. Interview them, because some realtors have more resources than other realtors.
They really do. I mean, they have so not to cut you off, they have so many programs. You know, I'm a first-time homeowner, and they have so many programs, so much money that, you know, we just don't know about. And it's about, especially our people, that we need to stop renting. And, you know, I live in New York. Everybody rents. Nobody has a house. And I'm like, how do y'all rent for 50 years? You know how much money you put into these other, and you can take $5,000 or $10,000 and go get your own house, you know? So that's so important. It's so important.
Right. And so I didn't answer your question yet. Why is it important that we buy? Because that is one of the biggest, easiest ways to pass on generational wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There is a certain peace of mind that I have when I watch my children play outside, that this is theirs.
It's theirs.
No matter what. Yeah, this is theirs. Whether, you know, it ends up being a rental property and they get that passive income, or when they go to Clark University, maybe Morehouse College, I hope not. But they can stay here if they want to. There's a peace of mind in that. And I am a descendant of a Creek Black freedman who received 160 acres in Oklahoma, and we don't have that. That's not okay.
Wow. That's not okay.
That's not okay. So we have to
let's talk about
start
that
now by
let's talk about why, not your personal family business, but let's talk about how Black people get a property that grandmother paid for 60 years and sell it. And then guess what? Gentrification comes and the house is worth $1 million when y'all sold it for $20,000. You know, just that might be big. But let's talk about that. What is the importance of keeping something and passing it down, making it a homestead, or making it a place where people can build wealth for each other's, for the family members?
I follow this really cool account on Twitter. It's called the Strip Mall Guy. And this anonymous real estate person is always giving information about kind of like commercial deals and stuff. But I follow along because the jewels that this person drops are always so valuable. And one day he tweeted, "My best advice is never sell." And
never sell.
I was like, that's the beginning and the end of the book right there. Never sell, because
never sell.
Your land is always going to appreciate. It may not happen in 5 years, it may not happen in 10 years, but 20, 30, 40 years down the road, you'll never be like, why didn't I sell this property? You'll be like, thank goodness I have this property, because then, it's physical collateral. Yeah. So, if you bought this little piece of rinky-dink land 10 years ago and now you paid it off and it's worth 50, 60,000, you can pull some equity out of that, go buy another property, or you pull some equity out and go fund whatever this dream business you have. Everything kind of starts, ends with real estate. When you go out on the street and you see people, every single person you see needs a roof over their head at some point. They're going to live somewhere. So it's an industry that has no natural end. We're always going to need housing. We're always going to need developments. The way that, we're out of land and space, you're going to have to start recycling what we have in creative ways. So that's why you see old buildings being repurposed into condos and everything else. So it's like, wherever you can get in, start there and hold on to it. The other thing I want to say about grandmother having to sell the property and everything else is we are not always educated on what our options are. Like in my family, I know that I was told that one of my relatives, they've had this house for, I don't know, generations and generations, but they sold it a couple of times just because some person without melanin and told them, the tax people are going to take the house unless you give me $500 today, you sign this. And no, I'm serious. And they did it. And signed away the property just because we don't know. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we just have to be more... No, that's okay. We have to be more educated on our options. So like right now, that's how gentrification is happening. People are getting cash offers, low cash offers. But that's because we don't do what I say. We don't call up the realtor in our neighborhood. We don't call up the 2 or 3 realtors in our neighborhood and say, hey, what do you even think about this low ball offer? What is my house actually worth? What is the after repair value? What are these people going to do with it? And how much money are they going to make? I think that if a lot of people knew the answer to that question, they would think about selling, at least think about selling at the low ball offer that they have, that they've accepted. I get offers a lot on my own property. And anytime they text me a lot, would you like to sell your house? I'm like, yeah, for 1.5 million, 7 days, cash closing, because I know. Yeah, because I know. I know what it's worth today.
I don't know where you live, but we'll talk offline. But just the truth.
I'll show it to you on the map, and you'll be like, "Wow!" Yeah. And it really just, my own. I bought my house before I was a realtor, and it really did open up my eyes to the way that real estate works, because it was not. I didn't even want to move in here. It was. And this is what, if I could leave somebody with, they don't have to look like the best thing ever when you buy it.
Yeah, when you're it's a starter home, right? It's a place to live. It's an investment. And you can move up as you make more money, as you move forward in life, you can find something better. You can turn it into rental. You know what's crazy? Exactly. One of our friends from college bought a house in West End. West End by the school in Atlanta. The house was maybe $150. If y'all know what the property is worth now, the West End. It's crazy. I said, man, and I'll never forget this. Atlantic Station had just opened. We were in college. And one of my friends said, Phil, you need to buy this apartment. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. It was worth $90,000. This was in 2007. They said, Phil, ask your mom, can you get some money? They won't give me no money. It was like, I didn't think about it at the time. I was making good money. The apartments now are $1 million. I could be falling out of control. $90,000 in 2007 to 2023. They're like 1.5. Like, what in the world? So investment is key, especially in our Black neighborhoods, because people are moving back into the cities. And call Janea. Call Nea Dix if you want to.
770-884-1314.
You just get a commercial like 770, something, little jingle. What I want to end on this. What are your final thoughts for our audience? What are your final thoughts? If you could talk about anything,
final thoughts.
Anything. It doesn't have to be real estate. You know where I'm going. What would be your final thoughts?
I could say anything to anybody listening out there, definitely go within. Everything you want to know about your life, the directions you should take, the things that you should do, the answers are within you. To find the answers and to unlock the answers, you have to quiet yourself enough to hear from the higher self within. And that, do not cut off because you think I'm not talking about God, or you think I'm not. I'm talking about, this is how our world works. Whatever your religion is, whatever your beliefs are, the answers are within. They're within you.
And as you're talking, I'm you know how we roll. Something is telling me to ask you, what has God meant to you in your life? And that's what you mean too when you say the inner.
Everything. I mean, God is in everything. God can use anything. And for me, especially, what I have learned is that God will use what you think is your biggest burden to help you and to help others.
Absolutely. What an amazing show, friend. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This was great. It went by so quick.
Give them the number one. Thank you. Give them the number one more time and how to contact
me. And that's, even if you want to talk about meditation or whatever else.
Yes, meditation. Yes, all of that good stuff.
884-1314. 770-884-1314.
Thank you so much, Nea Dix. Hold tight for me in the green room, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank my guest, my friend Nea Dix. We talk all the time. She's amazing. And go ahead, call her. I forgot the number. I know it starts with 770, but go with what she told us. She said, go within. Go within. That inner spirit inside of you is God talking to you. Focus on that. Focus on him and trust him, and everything's going to work out. I'm Phil. You're watching Phil and Friends right here on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. I'll see you guys later. Peace.